slut. You have to give that acting commission your job for good if you don't.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be doing another episode recap for today's Days of Our Lives, September 10, 2024. So we see Melinda tied up same way, struggling to get out, trying to get out after umpteen days in Connie's house, our apartment, right? So Connie comes in with breakfast and she's like, I hope you eat this time because, I'm hearing you got a set of pipes on you considering how long you haven't eaten, and, I don't want neighbors to hear you and all of that and get, the wrong suspicions and all that. So anyways, she's like, I promise I'll be good and all that. You just need to take the gag off of me and all that. So she's like, okay. She's but you gotta eat this. And she said, oh yes, I'll try to eat this. So she started cutting up, and then she's like, I can help you. So she's like, even on your best day, you think that I'm gonna trust you? So anyways, she begins to say that she has a busy day ahead of her, that she's, Gabby, she told Gabby, to cheat on her husband and to destroy their marriage overall. And, she's just there to have a front row seat to it all. So, she's just excited about this because, she's thinking that, she's getting revenge for Lee, from what Gabby and Stefan did. And she's like, listen, I don't even trust you, Melinda. And she was about to, get rid of her too. But then Melinda begged and plead because she's like, Lee didn't want this. And, remember Lee said, not to kill me. And I'm like, and I promise that I'll be quiet and all that. So she said, all right, cool. So she, still bringing that because I guess she's gonna, take it out on somebody. So Stephanie did call her, and I'll get into that at a later time. And that was the reason why she brought the knife, right? So we see Stefan barging into EJ's room with no knocker or nothing. He's like, where's my wife? So he's like, I don't know where she is, but you can't be just barging into my room, so go away. So he's like, listen, he's like, you didn't change your EJ's like, you didn't change your mind about her, right? He said, like, no, but I need to find her because there's no way after what she did with my son and her brother that she's gonna take the house away from me, so I need to track her down. So it's like, listen, you can't be upset at what the passionate night that we had, because again, it's all you're doing while your marriage is messing up right now, so you have nobody to blame but yourself. So anyways, he's like, get out of my room, and Stefan comes out. So we see Stephanie at the park. She's there to have this small ceremony for Everett, right? Everett / Bobby. Again, I don't see what's the point of this, but anyways, we're here, guys. So she calls Gabby, just reaching out to her for Connie's number, because remember Leo said something about Connie coming out of Everett / Bobby's room, and he asked her, you knew Everett. So she's like, we go way back. So that's how he ended up telling Stephanie about her. So she got the number from Gabby, and she did tell Gabby that they're having a ceremony, even though what happened to her brother being stabbed. So Gabby did put at that point, and she's like, listen, I don't care what happened to him, may he rest in eternal hell. So she's upset about that, understandably. So anyways, Stephanie did end up calling Connie, and Connie, that's how I was speaking about that earlier, about her getting a call from Stephanie and knowing that Leo actually told Stephanie that, Everett knew Connie and all of that, right? So she did say, listen, I don't know who is that. Maybe your friend got me confused with somebody else, but I don't know him. So she hung up the phone abruptly, and that is how she got the knife to go in the bag, so in case she sees Leo, she gets rid of him, which Melinda tried to stop her from doing, right? So we see Jada, she's at Rafe's bedside, and she's just praying for him to wake up, and she's telling him that she's been learning to make different recipes with the help of Gabby, and she hopes that she can impress him with that one day, right? So Paulina comes in to check in on her and how she's doing. So she's like, I'm trying to provide more resources for you at the police station so that you're not understaffed or overworked. So she's like, she is appreciative. So she did tell Paulina that, there's a ceremony going on for Bobby. So she's like, I'm surprised that you're even going. So she's like, he was my husband, so I just wanted to pay my respects. And even though he did that to the man that I love, like, I still cared about him, and I just can't believe he could be this heartless. So anyways, Paulina did offer to stay by Ray's side, and she had everything that she needed, so she said she would keep him company because allowing Jada to go to that ceremony, right? So she did say that this was the right, she had a feeling that somebody was going to be there by Ray's side today. So she left her and went on to the ceremony. So we see Gabby's at the square still, and once she came off the phone after being angered about the whole Bobby Everett ceremony thing, she sees her next worst enemy, Ava. So she's like, what do you want? So she's like, because Ava asks if they can talk, so she's like, what could you really want from me? So she's like, listen, you can hate me and you can never forgive me, but give Stefan a chance, like he really didn't mean it and all that. So she's like, look at you trying to give me advice. Like, listen, the marriage is what it is right now. It's gone down in the drain, and besides, after everything that happened recently, like ain't no coming back from that. So she's like, what you mean, what happened? So Gabby just said, listen, she was about to tell her, but then she said, you know what, no, it's none of your business, stay out of my way. So we see EJ, he's out of bed in a suit and all that, and Johnny's there, they're having breakfast. So he asks how his work doing, and he's like, it's going good. And he's like, you have to start from something small, with the whole director thing. So he's like very condescending. So he's like, that's not really what I mean. I'm not really into soap operas, it's all about these, the storylines are over the top, all that. So Stefan barges in and, he's like, hey Johnny, how about an idea for your soap opera? How about brother sleeps with other brother's wife? That would make an interesting storyline. So Johnny's like, what is it going on? He's like, ask your father. So Stefan runs out, and then Johnny and EJ talk. So Johnny finds out that, his dad slept with Gabby, and he's like, how can you even do that? Like, you don't like the lady and she doesn't like you. So how did that happen? So he's like, Gabby found out about Stefan's affair with Ava, and he's like, I know Uncle Stefan was lonely, but to be with Ava. So he's like, yeah, I'm surprised too, because like, she almost got her hooks into you, and luckily you came out of that. And he's like, I do understand the whole thing with Ava being charming and all that, but like that, like, why would you even do that? Like, has this have anything to do with Nicole? And he's like, I really don't want to talk about it. So he's like, you know what, we're gonna talk about it. I'm concerned about you, I love you, but what you're doing is really low for you, and like, it's pushing a lot of the family that you have left away. You don't want that, right? So it did struck a nerve with him, and he's like, listen, your marriage to Nicole is really your fault. Like, you have to blame yourself at the end of the day. And I'm like, he is partly to blame for that marriage, but Nicole did, give him a reason to be insecure and all that. It just wasn't gonna go anywhere. None of Nicole's marriages past Eric wasn't going to go nowhere, because she can't get over Eric and always messing up good husbands that she had, because they were all good to her. But anyways, back to the matter, because she's not here on the soap opera. But Johnny said he had to go to work, and then he ended up coming back with an envelope. So remember, Eric told him that the divorce letter is coming on the way. So Nicole found a way around it, and she got a divorce from EJ, so she's free to go with Eric now. So EJ is definitely upset about it. You can tell that he still is grieving over that marriage. So we go back to Pauline and Rafe, because remember, Paulina is taking, keeping Rafe company, telling him stories and what's going on with Brady, what's going on in Salem. So Gabby comes in and Gabby's surprised to see her, and she's like, what are you doing here? So she's like, Jada has some personal business, so I'm just here to keep him company. So she's like, it's funny that you are here considering you sent his sister willingly to jail for a crime that she did not commit. So she's angry about it because Paulina appointed EJ as a district attorney, and he just sent her to jail without all the credible, evidence and all that, over personal bias. So she's like, listen, I understand, but I am not the main one to blame here, right? I couldn't have, want to send you there, right, for something that you didn't commit. So at some point, she says that she has a lot going on, and she's sorry that she lashed out at her. There's a lot going on with her marriage, so she understands and all that. So she's like, EJ's been a good comfort. So she's like, oh well, I'm glad EJ's being great for you and all that. So she's like, I hope everything works out for you. And then, Gabby's like, you know what? You can stay and keep him company. I'm going to head out to work. So we run into Stefan and Ava. Well, they run into each other. And, she said, I just run into your wife and I was telling her to try to work it out with you, give you another chance. But, she flat shut me down, said the marriage is, you don't want the marriage anymore either. So he's like, he did actually confide in her and tell her that, after all the apologies that I've given, she just tried to hurt me in the worst way by sleeping with my brother EJ. So, he's like, listen, at this point, Gabby's out for blood, trying to take everything, and, it's just, it is what it is at the end of the day. So I won't hold it too long on this part, but we see Stephanie and Jada gather together, to, I guess, cattle Everett/Bobby's urn somewhere. And, nobody is there because, everybody has some obligations. Chad has the kids, Xander dealing with Sarah. And then, he didn't really have much relatives and all that. I don't know why they never mentioned Leo, but I guess Leo did say, funerals are not really for him, his kind of thing. So anyway, she said she tried to get through to Connie, and Jada's like, who's Connie? So she fills her in on Connie, Leo seeing Connie outside of the hotel room that Bobby was at, and, saying that they go way back. But when she called her, she said nothing of the sort. So Jada is putting on her investigative hat and is like, something don't sound right. But anyways, they go ahead and scatter Everett/Bobby's ashes near, the garden or something like that because he likes nature. So we see Jada, she's back in the town square and she's on the phone with a police officer, just asking information about Connie. So Ava overhears and she's like, I can't help but overhear Connie. Like, I can tell you where her location is. So she tell her that she's at the Salem Inn, and Jada is like, how did you know that? So she's like, back when I was working for Demira, Melinda was trying to reach out to her because she, produced a fraudulent resume, trying to, terminate her, but didn't hear nothing else, and Melinda took a leave of absence. So Jada's like, wonder what could happen, but thank you very much for that information. So she went off, and then, Stephanie's like, what is that about? So she's like, what could Jada really want with Connie? I don't know, but Connie is still employed. I don't think that Gabby knows that Connie actually was behaving fraudulent with the resume and all that. So Connie is Gabby's problem at this point. So Connie is at the office, Gabby's office, and she, Gabby's like, I'm glad you're here. We have a lot of calls, a busy day today. So she, she wants her to make some calls and all that. So Connie's like, before I get to that, like, what's going on with you personally? Like, she's like, I took your advice. I slept with his brother EJ, and it was exciting and all that. And, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to take him for all he's got. And I'm going to continue this thing with EJ. okay, you know, because I kind of like it and all that. So, you know, Connie's like, I'm here for this. I'm here for you, you know, I'm here for, you know, I'm girl power and all that. So she's like, you know, I'm surprised you're invested in my marital woes. So she's like, listen, you deserved, you know, you deserve this, and you know, he deserved all the hurt and pain that, you know, he put you through, right? So anyways, you know, they're reveling in that, high-fiving and all that. Gabby being stupid and delusional right now. But anyways, Connie has this knife. She turned around and have this knife in her handbag. I don't know what she's gonna do with it, but I guess we gotta stay tuned. So we head back to Paulina, right? And she's just, you know, she's like, listen, Rafe Hernandez, like, you know, as the mayor, like, I am commanding you to wake up, or else, you know, I am going to give away the acting commissioner job and all that. So at some point, Rafe started to flicker his eyes and open them wide. And, you know, Paulina is shocked, like, you know, Rafe, are you waking up? Like, you know, so I guess Rafe is waking up, but does he have his memory? We don't know. So let's see what happens tomorrow in tomorrow's Daysofourlives episode. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your support thus far. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.